Alright everybody, so today I'll be showing you how to rebuild your Honda calipers. It may also apply to other cars. They're all pretty similar, like all Japanese cars or German or whatever. There may be chicken noises, which is pretty annoying. So these calipers are of an EF era Honda Civic. These are the front ones, which I'll be rebuilding because they've been sitting around forever, unbolted, so there may be rust or anything. I wanna check the pistons and everything. So I got them off with the brackets, but pretty much they just slide off the brackets. Just slides right out. Some cars have like the guiding pins screwed in behind, but this one only has one, and then the other one just slides in, so there we go. We don't need that. Basically all you want is to clean this up, grease this up, and replace it if it's rusty, and replace these rubber boots. One more thing. All the bleeder valves, you just have to make sure you don't break them. So put a lot of penetrating fluid on them, because if they're really rusty and you snap one in there, you're gonna have a really bad time, or you can almost pretty much scrap the calipers, because it's very annoying to fix. So I put a lot of penetrating fluid on everything, all the bolts and shit. I put some in the cylinders too, so if there's any rust holding it from the inside or anything, we can at least hope it's gonna release. Well, the next step is of course removing the pistons, which is a pain in the ass because they get really stuck in there. So you can try doing them on the car. You just pump the brakes until they jump out, but you're gonna make a mess with brake fluid. So the other trick is you take compressed air and you just blow it in here where the oil goes, and they should pop out. It's kind of dangerous. They really explode out of there, but if you make sure you don't get this in the face, you're gonna be fine. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna try to push them out with the compressor, but sometimes they get stuck or rusted in, so you're gonna take off the rubber cap, and there's gonna be an edge on the cylinder, and just have somebody help you and use two screwdrivers and push it out. So as you saw there, they're pretty seized in, so I think we're gonna have to move the pistons first a bit, like try to rotate them a bit, get them loose, or maybe soak them in more penetrating fluid and then try again. So after hours of going at the calipers, after some broken tools, it snapped straight off, by the way, finally got them out. And as you can see, it's pretty damn bad. Yup, that's pretty damn bad. Here's the caliper inside. It's pretty nasty. So first things first, get rid of all of those seals in there. Clean it up nicely, get all the dirt out. Then we're gonna inspect the surface, if this is even still worth saving. I smacked my finger, now it's like blue and fat, because the stupid tool snapped because the pistons wouldn't come out. But you definitely need two persons to do this, and then put something from this hole and hammer the shit out of it so it comes out, and even that barely did it, so yeah, it's a nightmare. Second step is now also complete. I managed to getting the bleeding nipples loose, so this one right there, it was stripping pretty badly, but if you use like a regular ratchet 6-point, that's the best, so you can have as much contact with the edges as possible, because like you can try with one of the line wrenches, but it spawned on me also. And don't even try to like trying a regular open-ended wrench, because it's gonna strip definitely. So use something like this. I used a pipe on this ratchet, that's how hard it was sticking. So you need to you should use lots of penetrating fluid, maybe hammer it a bit, so maybe get it loose a bit, just to make sure that it doesn't snap, because if it snaps in there, there's not a lot that you can do, and then you can throw your caliper in the trash, and that would be a shame. Oh, there it is. Another one is out. Now off to cleaning the insides of the calipers, because they're pretty nasty, and then we can see if they're even reusable.
This is a Chucky Beat production.
So after some washing and scrubbing, here are the two calipers. They look so much better. Just look at that. So much shit came off. They're like way better. And all the gunk came off. So now I can I'm gonna grind this down a little bit more with a wire brush and stuff. But this is pretty much it. Now I gotta take a look at the cylinder walls. If these are still even reusable. Now I've been going at it with a drill and one of these, and this is how it looked before, and this is how it looks after one single pass. It's like OEM shine. It's so much better. And there's like a few rough spots, but I guess I'm gonna do that manually. But for like 30-year-old caliper, this is pretty good. So I'm gonna clean them up, and then we're gonna start prepping them for any paint. So here's the calipers. There's a little bit of pitting down there, but that's like the maximum amount you should have, because if they're really pitted and crappy, then you shouldn't waste your time refurbishing these and rather get new ones. So I'm gonna try to save these. I'm gonna paint them now. Got some brake clean. Gonna clean them up, and then we're gonna of course paint them. Alright, so today was parts day, and I got some other stuff, some tools, and here are my finished calipers. I painted them, so they look pretty good. I sanded down the surface inside, but it's not perfect yet, so I bought a tool which we're gonna try out, and it is this. It is a brake cylinder hone. So basically it's like honing your cylinders in an engine. You set up these so they sand inside. You put them on like a battery. You put them on like a drill, which I'm charging right now. So we're gonna run it through. Hopefully we're gonna get a nice surface so I can rebuild this. This is like $6 off of eBay, so we're gonna test this. We're gonna see how it works. And then I also got the rebuild kit. So as you can see, here's the old piston. Trash. This is the fresh new one. Yeah, so much better. So what you get in one of these packages is grease, piston, this seal, which is the main seal, and then of course the rubber dust boot. And then optionally you can also have the bleeder and the guide seals. So I got all of this. There should be a bleeder valve in here, but I guess they screwed me because it wasn't the picture and it's not in both of these. So whatever, gonna get them separately. So now I'm gonna charge this, then we're gonna try out the cylinder hone, we're gonna run it through, we're gonna see how well it does. Alright, so I ran this hone a couple of times through the cylinder and it's pretty good. It's nice and shiny. Of course I'm not gonna be able to fix all of that pitting, sadly, because, well, these are old and crappy, but it's way easier than having sandpaper and going through this for hours. It's pretty quick. I'm gonna do the other one and then we're gonna go to assembly. Nice little tip for getting into those threads and cleaning it up. Get this sanding mesh thing, put it in your drill, and through you go. Okay, so now that we have everything ready, first things first, we'll have to use our lube, which is usually provided, or you can also use some brake fluid. It's also good. You need to lube everything up very much, all the seals, all the cylinders and the pistons, so it's gonna go in easier, not damage anything. Just put some on your finger and rub it in. Then once everything is all nice and lubed up, we also have to lube up the square cut seal, which will actually provide all the sealing for the piston. So make sure you lubricate it nicely, insert it into the lower cylinder ridge and make sure it's seated nicely, and make sure you don't damage it because then it's not gonna seal anymore. Also, once you're done inserting it, also add some extra lube over it just to make sure it's gonna be lubed up nicely so the cylinder is gonna go in. Once you have the piston ready and all nicely lubed up, we're gonna add the rubber dust boot. So all you have to do is first you put it on the cylinder, you just put it over the top, make sure it's seated nicely on the inside, and then we're just gonna jam the cylinder into the caliper. So pretty easy, just put in the piston, make sure it's all nice and square, then use both of your hands, push from both sides, and it should be going in pretty smoothly. If you have a hard time putting it in, it's not lubed up enough, or you have a problem with the cylinder, so make sure it goes in nicely, push it all the way in, make sure the seal is seated correctly, and then that's pretty much it. You're done with your caliper, it's ready to be reinstalled. And now we're gonna check out the final results. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please make sure to leave them down below, and I'll see you in another video pretty soon.